Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of the Las Vegas Advisor Weekly Update with Anthony and Andrew. Today is Wednesday, February 15th, and we did not have a white Christmas this year, but we had a white Valentine's Day, Anthony.
It snowed.
It snowed in Vegas.
It snowed yesterday. I've been here 40-some years, and I haven't seen that very often. I can tell you that. What a strange day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's desert weather for you. I actually went out. I had to go out and run an errand. I went out. It was so cold. I had just a jacket on. It was so cold. By the time I ran the errand, 30 minutes later and got back, the sun was coming out. It was cold and rainy, and the rain was going in all different directions, sideways.
Snow and sleet.
Right? Yeah. Sideways rain, and then the sun was out.
Yeah.
That's the desert.
Yeah. It was absolutely, the afternoon was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Super Bowl. We wrapped up the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Chiefs. They won.
38-35.
Yep.
Chiefs cover. Goes over.
Yep.
So Chiefs and overbettors get the money. $153.2 million was bet. That was the fourth largest total of all time. We're talking about Nevada, in the state of Nevada. The record of $179.8 million set last year was not really approached. The casinos won $11.3 million in Nevada, which is 7.4% of the amount wagered. So,
pretty good.
Yeah, good for the casinos.
Yeah.
And, they win every year.
But now it's all eyes focused on next year because Vegas is wild for Super Bowl. A lot of people came out this year, but next year it's actually going down in Vegas.
Yeah, that's all they're talking about now.
Yeah.
I already saw in the newspaper 365 days, countdown begins, that sort of thing, because it's going to be held at Allegiant,
Yeah.
I mean, this place is going to go absolutely bonkers. But like, as you said, we were talking earlier, and you haven't spent as many Super Bowls in Vegas, and you were like, "Wow, it was crazy here."
It was.
You know, that's what they do. People come here. I'd rather be here than in at the game.
Yeah, me too.
And next year you can do both.
All right, Anthony. Now let's just talk about one bet real quick. I think it's your favorite prop bet. The national anthem. How'd you do?
I actually lost. I bet the over on this one, and the line closed at 2 minutes 6.5 seconds. And depending on who timed it, it went from 2:02 to 2:05.
Yes.
So I lost my bet. I don't know what the official number was, but I know it came in under 2.065.
Okay, so you lost your bet on.
Lost my bet on the Eagles too.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Lost my bet on the under as well in the game. I mean, it wasn't a great Super Bowl for me.
No, it wasn't.
I won some prop bets. It wasn't all for naught. So.
All right, well, that's good. You won some prop bets. Well, Super Bowl's over, so let's get to some current news, Anthony. We went out to two spots the other night, and the first one was Ojos Locos.
Yeah, two new casinos.
Yeah.
We've talked about these in the past, that they were coming, and now they've opened, and we went. The first one, Ojos Locos, means crazy eyes.
Yep.
And it's the first Vegas casino to be themed for Latino culture.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, it was interesting. To say the least. It's like a big bar and restaurant all in one space, right? It's almost like you're in a big, like a dorm, and it's a bar and restaurant. And
not a lot of rooms. It's like a warehouse.
Like a warehouse.
Giant warehouse. Yeah.
But it has that vibe, that Latino vibe, the mariachi music, that kind of music going all the time throughout, and the cocktail waitresses.
Very well dressed.
Very well kind of undressed.
Exactly, they're very well undressed.
They're in lingerie.
Yeah.
And good-looking girls all over the place.
Definitely.
So all you young guys who come to Vegas for that, you might want to check this place out. They call it the Mexican Hooters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how I've heard it described, and that was well earned. It's all machines, no table games. All right, this place used to be called the Speedway. And then it was called Lucky's, and they had table games, but no more table games, just machines.
The location was actually right off the freeway. I thought that was really good. I also thought, I want to say, it had plenty of parking.
Yeah, you just had I-15 north, and before you get to the Speedway, it used to be called Speedway, right? You'll see Ojos Locos. You'll be able to see it on the right from and you get off at Cheyenne. Okay, so we got some food.
Yeah, we got some food. We had a few different dishes.
It was good. Yeah, we got some ceviche, which was good. We got some street tacos, got some soup, but good food and reasonable prices and really big portions.
Yeah, and like Anthony said, there's no table games, but there's a whole variety of both bar top games and slot machines all throughout the casino.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the few places I've seen where the schedules were a little bit better at the bar than they were on the floor.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that, but that was a good time at Ojos Locos, which means crazy eyes. And the other place we went to was the new WILDFIRE.
Mm-hmm. The downtown WILDFIRE, or I guess they're going to end up calling it WILDFIRE Fremont.
Okay.
This is WILDFIRE is like a sub brand for Station casinos. Mm-hmm. So they're owned by Station. I think this is the 7th or 8th WILDFIRE in town. And this one's different. It's got a different look, kind of more affluent, a little bit more high-end. Mm-hmm. It's got a couple of restaurants, whereas most of the WILDFIREs have what they call the WILDFIRE Grill, where you get hamburgers and things like that. This one's got a Tacos Al Pastor.
Yeah.
All right, some more Mexican food.
Very good.
A 24-hour IHOP.
Yeah, 24-hour IHOP. I mean, that's really good.
Yeah, and this is another one, no table games. All machines. Mm-hmm. I was told by somebody there that it's the first WILDFIRE to have electronic table games, not just slots and video poker.
Yeah, they have the interblock gaming there. They had interblock craps and interblock blackjack.
Yep, and we should mention that both of these places has sportsbook. William Hill Sportsbook at Ojos and the Station Casinos, of course, sportsbook at WILDFIRE. And here, too, we met a lot of nice bartenders.
Yeah.
Friendly.
Very friendly.
Friendly as heck.
Yeah.
At this one. So 2 interesting new places to see, Ojos Locos and WILDFIRE Fremont.
Yeah, and the other thing with the WILDFIRE Fremont, parking is fantastic. It's free, and it was a giant parking lot.
Both places, free parking. And another thing, location. Anyone who remembers the old Showboat down on Boulder Highway. It's right where the Showboat used to be. The Showboat became Castaways for a brief time, and now it's WILDFIRE Fremont.
All right. And actually, this was going to be our member rewards episode. We did a really thorough one last year about the member rewards book in January as it was released. And if you want to watch that one, I'll put a link in the description box below. We are going to do another one. We'll probably do it next week where we do a real description of the member rewards and all the great stuff that you can find inside. But Anthony, let's talk a little bit about it right now.
Yeah, well, we looked at you brought it to my attention and said, are we going to do one about the new member rewards book this year, our coupon book, when you're a Las Vegas Advisor member? And I looked at last year's and it was really good. So we're going to do that again. But a few things to talk about. People who come in, sometimes they hear about it and at the last second they want to get it, but there's no time to order it and get it in the mail. There's 2 ways to do it. You can order it over the phone, and we have a $10 courier fee where we will we'll bring it to your hotel. We'll talk about that, more about that in a minute. Or you can come to the office and pick it up. There's no fee at all for that. And that's where I kind of like that, because the people come in and often they'll ask for me or you. Mm-hmm. And if we're there, we come down. I mean, we had customers come in today. They're from Rochester, New York. They asked for me. You weren't here. I came down. They told me, they watch religiously every week. We took some photos, and I said, I'm going to mention you. I said, I'm not going to mention your names, but I'll tell people Rochester. So, folks, thanks for coming in.
New York is in the house.
Yep, absolutely. And them in the courier, all right? I got a little story on that.
Okay, let's hear the story. So LVA does have a courier service. If you're in town, you can order the book for $10 to be delivered to your hotel.
Right. So often actually, I do a lot of the delivery myself because I know the town well, and especially on a weekend when we're closed, if there's deliveries, I'll take them, right? And they'll take it to your hotel, all except 2 places, the Link and the Flamingo.
Okay.
These places will not accept mail for their guests. I can't help it. That just stuns me.
Seems a little silly.
They're both Caesars properties. And not all Caesars are like that. They'll accept it at Harrah's. They'll accept it at the Horseshoe, the new one. I just don't understand. And at the Flamingo, they said, here's what they told me when I took it there. They said, we will accept it at the FedEx store, but the customer's going to have to pay $7 to pick it up.
Well, that's even ridiculous too.
That's nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense. So aside from those 2 places, we will send a courier and deliver. All right. The other places, 2 places that do it a little differently, are Circa and the D. All right, both owned by the same people.
Downtown.
Yeah, and there you have to take it. You have to take it to the security office. Well, at the D, it's real easy because they come outside. You call them. They come outside. They take it, and then the customer comes and gets it. So I was doing a delivery myself over the weekend, and I took it to Circa, and they called the security down, and security came and told me I had to accompany them to the back room, to the office. And as I'm walking with security to the back office, I couldn't help but think, when I was playing blackjack on the teams, rule number one was you never go back to the security office.
Right, because we've all seen Casino.
Yeah.
We know what happens with the hammer.
And it doesn't really happen anymore, but back when I played, things like that were happening.
Yeah.
And these days, I mean, I can't tell you how many times security would come out and say to me, come back with us, and I would go, no, I'm not going to. And this is the way it worked, and all the pros knew this rule. And you tell them, if they ask you for ID, you go, no, I'm not giving you my ID. You go, I want to leave. Now, the reason they're stopping you, we're not doing anything illegal. We're counting cards. That's legal. But they think it's wrong. Mm-hmm. And if they ask you for ID, you say no. And if they ask you to accompany them, you say no. You say, I'm leaving right now, or I'm standing right here and I'm waiting for Metro. You call Metro. Or sometimes they'll go, we'll call the police. Good. Call the police. They're going to protect me. You know, I'm not going back there with you guys.
Right. Now, this was more like in the 80s, right? This
this
was
was
so much
in the 80s and into the 90s. This has changed a lot over the years after some really bad episodes of people getting hurt back there. But back when I was playing in the beginning, in the 80s and into the 90s, you simply would not go. Yeah. Right? And as I'm walking back with them to do it, I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? Right? And I knew it was okay.
I'm not supposed to do this. I'm trained to not do this.
But when I went in and all I did was hand it over and sign something, I couldn't help it. I said to the main guy, I said, I used to play with some of the big card counting teams. And I said, rule number one is we never come back here with you guys. And this guy looked at me, he paused for a minute, and then he got this huge smile on his face.
That's funny.
It was like, okay, I know what you're saying. Yeah. So, things have changed quite a bit. But that was my first trip to the back room, finally, after all these years.
All right. Anthony made his first trip to the back room. One more thing we want to talk about from last week is a follow-up to our Arizona Residence Deal sign-up bonus if you're into sports betting. Now, Anthony, can you tell us a little bit about this deal?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the deal. We're going to talk more about the process right now real quick because some people have had some problems. We want to tell them what to do. First thing is we keep calling it the residence deal. You do, I do. You don't have to be a resident. You just have to be in Arizona to do it. Mm-hmm. I had a buddy who was an LVA member, and he had a layover in Phoenix, and he did it right there, and that was cool, and he got his free LVA. Those of you who want to know what we're talking about, look at last week's video or the week before, or go to LasVegasAdvisor.com and go to our message boards and questions to the LVA staff, and there's a whole thread on it. But here's what's going on. We found out there's a little bit of a glitch in the system, mostly for people who are using their phones to sign up. If you've used your phone to sign up or anything, if you've signed up, registered and signed up for this, and you didn't get an email from us, that means something's wrong and that you weren't tagged, and you're not going to get your premiums that we promised you, which is free LVA membership and a book, or three different books on sports betting. So anyone who has signed up and has not gotten an email from Las Vegas Advisor, either send us an email to customer service at huntingtonpress.com, or call our direct number at 800-244-2224, and we'll get it straightened around for you so you get your premiums.
And in this week's Jackpot of the Week comes to us from Brad H., and he says, hello, Anthony and Andrew. My wife and I travel to Las Vegas a few times each year and watch your show every week to keep up on what's new. We went last February for my wife's birthday and got food poisoning. That's a bummer.
Nice.
Went back for the 4th of July, and I caught COVID even though I was fully vaccinated. That didn't deter us from booking another trip for November, and I'm glad I did because while playing at the Aria, I was dealt a royal flush that paid $6,000. I guess in this case, persistence pays off. Stay well, fellas.
He's telling us to stay well.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, if anybody's giving advice about staying well, it doesn't sound like it's him. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Right?
It's a rough one. But there you go, Brad. You got your $6,000. Now, what do you think of this pay schedule, Anthony?
Well, he's playing Super Times pay.
Yeah.
This is why this one's interesting. We talked about Super Times once before. This is a 6-coin game. All right, so you have to put in 6 coins, but it pays as if you played only 5.
Right.
But the makeup is that you get randomly, you are assigned multipliers. Those multipliers can go anywhere from 2 to 10.
Yeah.
Now on this bonus, he did not have a multiplier go on.
That's right.
Or he'd have really scored.
Yeah.
Right. The game wasn't great that he was playing. He was playing Deuce's Wild bonus. Let's see, that game, that schedule looks like it has 96.22%. With Super Times Pay, it actually, you play it the same way, and it actually ups the percentage a little bit. So on Super Times, he was playing 96.49%. So not a great game, under 97%. But again, we always say, when you hit, it's great.
Yeah, those
right?
multipliers can make a difference if you get a multiplier.
Yeah. So it's that was a really great hit. And he got it dealt, so he got it 3 times. He was playing 50 cents, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Congratulations. Way to be dedicated.
Yeah, yeah.
That paid off.
That's a monster hit, and it's too bad you didn't get a multiplier, but still, it's $2,000 a line. So,
Yeah.
way to go.
Yeah, nice jackpot.
All right. That's it for this week. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. The more comments you leave, the more that you share the videos with your friends. It helps the algorithm, helps us to grow. So we thank you in advance for that. Anything to add, Anthony?
Member rewards, those of you who don't know about it, check out next week. We're going to shoot it.
Okay.
Tell you what's there.
And that's it for this week. We'll see you next time.